Casey Cagle addressing his supporters in Gainesville tonight. Looks like he will be in a runoff for the Republican nomination for governor. Let's listen.
We're going to create a rising tide that lifts all boats. Through the workforce, through the College and Career Academy network that I've created in 2007, where 30,000 students are being able to see $40,000 and $50,000 a year salaries. That's the kind of future that we want, to give people a better alternative than what they may be in. And I will tell you that prosperity will be felt for all. And we're going to make sure that every single student across Georgia has access to college and career academies, early colleges, and apprenticeships all across the state. It's that kind of positive message that we're going to be focused on as we go forward. And to see that map and to see how many counties that we won, to see the margin that existed there is very, very encouraging to Nita and I hope it's just as encouraging to you as well. Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to step right back into the well, actually tomorrow's Nita's birthday, okay? All right, so I'm going to have to celebrate her birthday a little bit tomorrow, okay? But outside of that, we're going to be right back going all across this state and sharing this wonderful message. And I will tell you, on the conservative issues, we're going to continue to fight for the value system that exists within Georgia. And I promise you, we will be unwavering, not just on life, but on Second Amendment as well. And we've got the record to back it up, I can promise you. So thank every single one of you for being here. You do not know what a blessing you are to me and to my family. I am humbled. I am humbled by tonight. I'm humbled by this contest. And I want to tell you that Hunter Hill, he didn't make the cut tonight, but he's a good man and he is my friend. And I want y'all to all give him a great round of applause. And I would say the same thing about Clay Tippins as well.
Well, Casey Cagle there referencing he plans to pound the pavement tomorrow, that he is going to continue his campaign. That, of course, because he's expecting a runoff election between himself and Brian Kemp. Here's a look at the numbers right now. 69%. Cagle has 39%. Brian Kemp, 26%. Cagle mentioned that Hunter Hill hasn't made the cut. The numbers, this race hasn't been officially called yet, but with 69% reporting, we're getting a pretty good look at where things stand. I want to turn this over now to Tom Haynes for some analysis of this race.
Well, and Sine, we're here with Phil Kent from the Georgia Gang. Did you hear Casey Cagle going after the other candidates that didn't pull it out, looking for those endorsements already? Because he's going to need those votes, isn't he?
Did you hear he said Hunter Hill's a good man?
Yeah, good guy. Let's take a look at how this race shook out. And I want to specifically focus in on the metro Atlanta area and pull out some of these counties, because this has kind of been the story with Casey Cagle all along here. DeKalb, Fulton, Cobb, and Clayton County. He won, but not by much, and that was a problem. As we go to a wider picture, I want to take you over to the big map here, and you see a sea of red here. You see this wedge of green where Brian Kemp won those counties, and this is going to be a runoff at the end of the day between Cagle and Kemp. But Cagle, even in his own county, up in Hall County, wasn't able to cross that magic threshold.
That surprised me. I've been watching Hall County, as you say, the home of Casey Cagle. He didn't hit 50%. He's to be congratulated. He is the #1 slot here, and you see all the red. Those are Cagle counties, but he needed to push those margins up, as you're pointing out, especially in Metro Atlanta.
And you talked about Karen Handel and our own governor and that race, how Handel was ahead by some 11 points. Could Brian Kemp pull off the same thing and leapfrog Cagle in the general?
He could. I think Casey Cagle, while he is a #1 slot, is in a very tricky position, because some of these other candidates, aside from Brian Kemp, Hunter Hill and Clay Tippins, and of course Michael Williams, they took shots at Casey Cagle.
All right, it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays off in the runoff election between these two candidates, Brian Kemp.
And it's in July.
And Casey Cagle in July. We're going to come back and take a look at the Democrat race and how that shook out between Abrams and Evans in just a couple of minutes.